manager, the wolf. Their survival is critical to our ecosystems, our communities, and even our economy. As highly intelligent animals with strong social bonds, Minnesota wolves deserve to be protected and admired. Learn more at howlingforwolves.org. Let's live and let howl.
Don't fall for vaccine misinformation. Local medical professionals are available to answer any of your questions. Initial shots and boosters are safe for people who are pregnant and even young children. Right now, vaccines are available for anyone over 6 months of age, while boosters are available for anyone over the age of 5. This message brought to you by the Native American Community Clinic. Find a vaccination site by calling 651-304-9986 or visit vaccineconnector.mn.gov.
Hey, Cudahy to all my friends and relatives in 4 directions. This is Robert Pilot of Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake. I'm here to ask you for your support. Finding honest Native-centered news is not easy. But with your support, we're able to provide accurate information about Standing Rock, Line 3, treaty violations, and COVID-19 in our Native communities. Please visit Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon and donate if you can. That's Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon. Pinigigi, and thank you for your support.
Hey, Olgama, I've been hearing a lot about this term, climate justice. What is that?
Climate justice is recognizing that the negative impacts of climate change don't affect all people equally. It also means transitioning from a fossil fuel-based economy to a more sustainable future. MN350 is one of the groups that's pushing for this transition to protect our futures. You can even get involved too.
That's great, especially since I'm concerned about pipeline projects like Line 3. How can I help MN350?
Just find them on Facebook or visit mn350.org.
I heard sex trafficking happens a lot in Indian country. What is that?
Here are some of the real reasons why sex trafficking happens in Indian country. Unequal gender roles that were forced on us by colonization. Communities don't have enough resources. Silence around domestic and sexual violence. Lack of attention and justice for missing and murdered Indigenous people. There's a lot of behavior that keeps our communities out of balance. These are just a few true reasons why Native communities are targeted by traffickers. When these acts of violence happen in our communities, it opens us all up for exploitation.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Showers and thunderstorms through the night with a low of 53. Then the skies clear out on Saturday with sunshine and a high of 70. Whether you're dining in or dining out, Eat Local Minnesota restaurants and food purveyors will make your next meal one to remember. Visit the full list of Eat Local Minnesota restaurants and food purveyors at eatlocalminnesota.com.
Portions of Native Roots Radio may be pre-recorded.
It's a good day to be Indigenous.
Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake. Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, Cudahy to all my friends and relatives in 4 directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and we're here live at the Red Dress Gala here in downtown St. Paul, and I'm here with State Senator Mary Kunesh. You're giving a wave. We're on radio, so that doesn't always work. Why don't you say hello?
Good evening, everyone. It's really good to be here at this event.
That's awesome. So tell us a little bit about the event, and let's get right with it because this time's going to fly.
You bet. So we're down here in St. Paul. It's the Red Dress Gala, and it is being sponsored, and it's a fundraiser for our Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center. And we have with us the Executive Director Extraordinaire, Marissa Cummings. Marissa, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Aonia, Ijaje Wiwitate Miakanda, Wache Ijaje Wiwitate Marissa Cummings, Tesindoa Ubli. So my name is Marissa Cummings. My Maha name is Miakanda, and I obviously belong to the Maha people and the Buffalo Tail clan of the Sky people. And I am honored to be the CEO of the Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center and work with so many incredible people. And a lot of them are here this evening. So I hope everyone gets a really great information tonight about the work we do at the agency and how we can grow that and develop it further.
So would you tell us a little bit about the work that you do within the urban Indian community here in Minneapolis and St. Paul?
Yeah, well, there's all these different levels, right? There's levels with the Metro Urban Indian directors where we work together to try and address some of the community needs. There's also work that we do we have sexual assault advocates, including medical advocacy, where we go into hospitals if Native women are sexually assaulted and need an advocate and specific care. We have mental and behavioral health programs. We have Native women that are mental health therapists, as well as an intensive outpatient treatment program that also has housing for mothers with children under the age of 1. So we really try and provide those wraparound services that are all culturally specific and all grounded in our traditional teachings.
It's so important that that we are grounded in those cultural approaches and the care for our Native folks. We know that our urban Indians are often let's say, victimized at higher rates than anyone else, especially women. And we know that our women have suffered the violence for generation after generation. Oftentimes, carrying the burden of family and being the one that keeps the families together. Our Native culture is very matriarchal. My question now is that now that we're here this evening, it's called the Red Dress Gala. What are you hoping to get out of this gala?
Well, I think there's so many things, right? Each and every person here this evening that is listening to the presentations that we'll have will get more information about the needs of our community. And what is really near and dear to my heart is equity. We know that the disparities exist in our community. We know the opioid epidemic is hitting our community the hardest. We know that maternal and infant health or mortality is a concern. And we want those funds to follow the disparities. We want to make sure that we have the funds to address those needs in our community, to take care of our people the way that we know how to take care of them and heal. And that's what the fundraising is for. Unfortunately, we have to look to private donors to take care of a lot of the resource, to be a resource for supporting the programs that we do.
I'm a state senator here in Minnesota, and we try to get a lot of the funding out to the community, but we oftentimes don't make it that far. And it's up to a lot of our nonprofits to fill those gaps, to fill the needs within our state. Just this past year, we worked really closely with a consortium of our Native folks, and they put together a really classy ask to the Minnesota State Legislature. It was called the Urban Indian
Legacy
Initiative. And, rather than one by one coming to the legislature asking for additional help, these organizations such as the Women's Resource Center, who else was in on that? Walk on Teepee.
The Minneapolis Indian Center, American Indian OIC. Yeah, there were 16 Native organizations that looked at our traditional teachings of collaboration and supporting one another rather than competing against one another for capital investment. And the reality is that most of our buildings are falling apart and we need renovations. We need to be able to provide beautiful environments for our people to receive services. And our people deserve those beautiful facilities.
Absolutely. We know that the resources have not come our way for such a long time, and we can't thank you enough, Marissa Cummings, for all the good work that you've done, and we look forward to continuing the work that's going on.
Mary, can we tell everyone, because we're all over the country here, where we are and why we're here?
We are at the Intercontinental Hotel, downtown St. Paul, right on the Mississippi River. We are all here to experience the first kickoff of the Red Dress Gala, and the funds that are raised here this evening will go to the Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center in order to ensure that families and children and the community are beginning to get the resources that they need to thrive, whether it's healthcare, whether it's housing, whether it's food. Yesterday, we were at an event where we were giving away books. We look at the entire needs, the culture of the community, and that's where we begin to assess and address the issues that are at hand.
So this is like a celebration. We're celebrating these things and getting the word out. I just see a lot of beautiful dresses, people dressed up. This is just an exciting event, and I wish more people were here. And I know there's a silent auction going on, and wondered if we could talk about how people can get on that silent auction too.
Well, they can look at our Facebook site or our website, and you will actually see a barcode that you can scan on that site. And the barcode will take you to the silent auction where you can watch the bids and you can bid right on there. The bidding will close around 7:30 this evening, and so you want to get on there right away and make sure to get that done. But we have some beautiful items. We have a traditional cradle board. We have paintings by Cole Redhorse, by Holly Young. We have a jingle dress made. It's red velvet with copper jingles from Lavender Kingbird, an amazing seamstress. Rachel King-Seart donated a beautiful ribbon skirt and matching men's shirt with MMIW signatures on it. So yeah, there's just a lot of really beautiful items here. And then we also have some experiential items, a macaron making class, and also I believe a golf trip to one of the golf club up at Boys Fort. So
Wow.
yeah.
That's exciting. Hey, we got to take a quick break here. We're at the Red Dress Gala in downtown St. Paul at the Intercontinental Hotel. We're rocking and rolling. We'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us.
Hey, Olgama, I've been hearing a lot about this term, climate justice. What is that?
Climate justice is recognizing that the negative impacts of climate change don't affect all people equally. It also means transitioning from a fossil fuel-based economy to a more sustainable future. MN350 is one of the groups that's pushing for this transition to protect our futures. You can even get involved too.
That's great, especially since I'm concerned about pipeline projects like Line 3. How can I help MN350?
Just find them on Facebook or visit mn350.org.
When we heal from our traumas,
when we face our fears,
let go of our addictions,
when we relearn our values,
when we live our teachings,
respecting our elders,
cherishing and honoring our children,
when we honor and take care of our spirit,
there will be no room left for sexual violence.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
Minnesotans age 65 plus might qualify for Health Partners Minnesota Senior Health Options. The plan includes personal support, coverage for medical, prescription drugs, and dental, plus over 30 extra benefits. Eligibility information is available at healthpartners.com/oneplan. Health Partners is a health plan that contracts with both Medicare and the Minnesota Medical Assistance Medicaid program to provide benefits of both programs to enrollees. Enrollment in Health Partners depends on contract renewal.
J&S Bean Factory is a native-owned, community-supported, cozy, artsy coffee shop which offers roasted on-site beans, live music, and baked goods. Relax in the beautiful outside patio. City Pages writes, voted top 10 coffee shops. Tucked into a quiet corner of St. Paul's Highland Park neighborhood, this coffee shop roasts beans on-site from the best coffee-growing countries in the world. Located at 1518 Randolph Avenue, St. Paul. The good stuff.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, hey, hey. Welcome back. This is Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and we're here at the Red Dress Gala in downtown St. Paul. I'm here with State Senator Mary Kunesh, and she has another groovy guest here. Take it away there, State Senator.
Groovy guests. I wish you could all see what we see right now. There are so many incredible, beautiful garments, red, scarlet, every shade of red, ribboned. It's just unbelievable. But right now I have next to me an extraordinary filmmaker. We have Leah Hale here. Leah is a producer, right? Of the Bring It Home documentary that was on TPT. She interviewed our very favorite Representative Ruth Buffalo in South Dakota, who was able to tell us about tragedies that occurred up there. And I'm going to let Leah introduce herself and tell you a little bit about the work that she's been doing. Leah, would you introduce yourself, please?
Midakuyepi, na Yushki on Wachia copy, Chante Washtea Nape to use a BA. Hello, everyone. It's good to see you all. It's nice to be at this awesome event with strong leaders from our community. And I'm really happy to be here and to represent Twin Cities PBS and the recently documentary that I directed and produced, Bring Her Home. So thank you for inviting me to share a little bit about it.
That's so exciting. We know Ruth Buffalo really well, and the story that she has, and also the grief that she went through and goes by every day with that young girl that was murdered. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Savannah Graywin LaFontaine.
Right,
Yep.
and Savannah's Law all over the country, and so I just applaud you to bring that out. I really appreciate those kind of things, and really with the natives really coming forward here in the last few years, it's been really, really exciting. And I know you've been doing it longer than a few years, but you're finally getting the credit.
Yeah, definitely. Any opportunity I can receive to uplift Native stories, especially from the urban settings, I think it's really important to, create, whenever we can, the opportunity to create our own heroes and to create people or highlight people that are doing great things in the community, so we can see those examples on the upfront and foremost. Just individuals really doing passionate, meaningful work in their community and making a change, especially regarding missing and murdered Indigenous women. So wherever I can find an opportunity to uplift Native stories, I'm definitely, working my best to do that.
That's great. And we're all over the country, and we're on quite a few stations in Wisconsin. How can other people across Turtle Island see your work?
Well, a lot of my work comes out of Twin Cities PBS. My next film I'm actually working on is the life and career of Ojibwe Hockey Hall of Fame and Olympian Henry Boucher.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of upper Midwest stories. And I think if you can easily find me by going to tpt.org and typing in my name or a previous film that I produced, and definitely it's easy to find some of the work that I do.
That's exciting, and Henry's a good friend of ours, and we wish him well. And I remember Henry. I'm old enough to remember him when he played for the St. Paul Saints and the Minnesota North Stars. And when I wore a headband, everyone said I looked like Henry Boucher. So I don't know if that was a compliment or what, but I took it. And even though I state senator, I was an ankle skater. So.
Well, Leah, we really appreciate you being here and the work that you've done to educate and help folks understand the tragedy of the missing and murdered Indigenous Native women, not just here in Minnesota and in the Dakotas, but across the way. I'm wondering, at what point did you decide you were going to become a documentarian?
I think growing up, I've always lived in an urban setting. I grew up in the Los Angeles American Indian community, and I think it was out there where I discovered my love of storytelling through my family's dance group. I grew up dancing with the Eagle Spirit Dancers. That's my grandfather and father's dance troupe. And I just grew up listening to the stories that they told and that went along with the dances that we performed in regards to educating the public about Native people and through story songs and dances. So just hearing those stories growing up and hearing the origins and creation stories, I think that definitely inspired me to be some type of a storyteller. And I think just being out in the Los Angeles area and close to Hollywood, that definitely also sparked my interest as well.
Remind me who your co-producer was.
Oh, my co-producer, he's awesome. His name is Sergio Rapu, and he is from Easter Island, also known as Rapa Nui. Well, originally it's called Rapa Nui, but it's also known as Easter Island. And he was my co-producer.
That's a cool name. Say that name again.
Rapa Nui.
Yeah, that's an awesome name. Seriously.
Yeah, the two of you did an extraordinary job of it. And then I was really excited when you invited me and Misty Babineau, who was also in the documentary. Misty, I just want to give a shout out to Misty because she is one of the heroes here in Minnesota when it comes to addressing the missing and murdered Indigenous women. She herself was a victim of violence more than once and saw some horrific things in her lifetime. Yet every time we gave a call to the Minnesota legislature to come in and speak your truth and tell your stories, Misty was there, and she told her story over and over again, as painful as it was. And so the really incredible thing is how it draws so many of us from so many different avenues, of life, yet still having very, very common experiences. And the way you were able to weave all of those stories together and tell the incredible work that Minnesota has done to address this. It's just been 5 years. And in those 5 years, we've not only created the task force, but we've also created a permanent office for the missing and murdered Indigenous relatives to continue this work. And I have to say that I'm sure a good part of the education has come from the documentary that you put together. And so certainly want to say Wopi Latanka and Chimigwich to you.
Thank you so much. You are also another member of the Native community that really inspired me. So I really, studied a lot of your work in regards to creating this first office in the nation, and
yeah, absolutely.
Definitely made it a part of the storyline of the documentary. But yeah, and also giving a shout out to not only Misty Babineau, who definitely is one of my idols, but also Angela Two Stars from the Sisseton Wahpeton Dakota people, and she's the director of All My Relations Gallery, as long as with Representative Ruth Buffalo. These women are remarkable and amazing, and I was just honored that they were, willing to share their stories and share some of their pain, but also, really shared their resiliency as well. So I'm just honored to, be that person to I guess provide the platform for them to tell their stories.
Wow, that's exciting. I taught film and television in high school, and so it's always good to see somebody that looks like a lot of my students being successful and on this journey. So I really appreciate the work that you're doing and the work that you have done, and to tell our stories because we're storytellers.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much. And thank you for inviting me here. And I hope everyone has an awesome time at this event. It looks wonderful already.
Wow, good one. Oh,
thank you.
Yeah, Pinigigi. Wow. We're here at the Red Dress Gala here in downtown St. Paul. And we are I'm here with State Senator Mary Kunesh, and we're kind of rocking and rolling here. This is just like a really good good time here. I mean, everyone's wearing red and they're celebrating. I see a couple of former students of mine over here ready to dress. And State Senator, you know Misko, and This medallion was her first medallion that she made, and it was for my radio show. So
Beautiful.
And you have to gift the first one. You can't sell the first one. So I
That's
lucked
right.
out. Oh, wow. Hey, we got a guest here. Can you introduce yourself here, please?
Yeah, Buju Mino Dibakad, Nikki Indigenakaz. So I'm Nikki Paradas, and I'm from Boys Sport. And I am with Mary, both kind of representing MIWRC on the board, but also ED at Tuahi Foundation.
Hey, we're going to take a quick break here. You're listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake here at the Red Dress Gala. We'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us. Hey, Wendy, what are we doing for dinner after the show?
How about we go to J. Selby's on 169 Victoria Street in St. Paul? They have a delicious plant-based menu that's compassionate and environmentally sustainable.
I'm getting their spot-on vegan Big Mac, the dirty secret.
You can pick up and they deliver within a 5-mile radius, or you can call them at 651-222-3263 or visit jselbys.com.
Well, you sold me, Wen. Let's go order at J. Selby's tonight.
I'm hungry.
Unwanted sexting or photos, inappropriate jokes, even tickling or wrestling can feel like a violation. Catcalling, cornering, or groping, getting them drunk or high for sex, recording sexual acts without permission, hurting someone because of their sexual orientation, raping a family member, a child, a date, a friend, a stranger, purchasing a human being for sex. You make the choice every single time. Sexual violence is many things. Make a choice. Do not do it.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
Minnesotans age 65 plus might qualify for Health Partners Minnesota Senior Health Options. The plan includes personal support, coverage for medical, prescription drugs, and dental, plus over 30 extra benefits. Eligibility information is available at healthpartners.com/oneplan. Health Partners is a health plan that contracts with both Medicare and the Minnesota Medical Assistance Medicaid program to provide benefits of both programs to enrollees. Enrollment in Health Partners depends on contract renewal.
This is Santita Jackson, Minneapolis, St. Paul. I couldn't be more excited about starting our days together, Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. Central on the Progressive Voice of Minnesota.
Would you let animals pick your insurance? Do you really need to experience mayhem to get the best rates? Or how about a celebrity quarterback or fake university saving you money? There's a lot of marketing stunts when it comes to insurance, but what you really need is someone looking out for you. Call Array Insurance, and they will work hard to find you the best insurance coverage and rates. To avoid gimmicks, call Cheryl at Array, 763-504-3067 or arrayinsurance.com. Array Insurance, working hard for you.
Seward Co-op is now offering convenient self-serve and prepackaged hot options and salad bars at both the Franklin and Friendship stores. Breakfast items available daily until 11 a.m. and brunch served all day every Sunday. Their weekly lunch and dinner menus highlight cuisines from around the world. They offer vegan, vegetarian, and gluten-free options daily. 95% of the ingredients used are organic from small-scale, local community food producers whenever possible. More at seward.coop.
Hey, Kurt, check out this website for AM 950.
We don't have time for that, Pat. We got to promote the Up North podcast Saturday nights at 9.
But look at all these great shows. The webpage looks like a bingo card of talk that's smart, funny, and engaging.
And now they're adding the Up North podcast Saturday nights at 9.
Well, we do fit in nicely. You on Lake Minocqua, me on Lake Wissota. Just some Midwestern common sense and a little subversiveness.
The Up North podcast Saturday nights at 9 on AM 950.
Located just north of 50th in France, the Great Wall Restaurant has provided a delicious taste of authentic Chinese cuisine since 1981. Specializing in Szechuan and Peking dishes, they offer one of the most extensive menus in the Twin Cities. Favorites include hot and sour soup, pan-fried dumplings, and mushu pork with homemade Chinese pancakes. Stop by their Edina location or call for takeout at 952-927-4439. See the full menu at greatwallrestaurant.us.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Showers and thunderstorms through the night with a low of 53. Then the skies clear out on Saturday with sunshine and a high of 70. Whether you're dining in or dining out, Eat Local Minnesota restaurants and food purveyors will make your next meal one to remember. Visit the full list of Eat Local Minnesota restaurants and food purveyors at eatlocalminnesota.com.
You're listening to Native Roots Radio. This is Spirit from Reservation Dogs. Get up and listen.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, we're here at the Red Dress Gala here in downtown St. Paul, and I'm here with State Senator Mary Kunesh here in Minnesota, and we're pulling up guests all over the place, and I want you to introduce our next our next guest already introduced herself. Let's jump right back into this interview.
Oh, well, what would you like to know?
Tell us about Tiwahe.
Okay,
Yes.
love to. So, Tiwahe Foundation, Native led, Native staff, Native board, but we do grant making with the American Indian Family Empowerment Program, micro grants to individuals and families in the Twin Cities Metro. We also have a leadership program called Oyate, and that right now we're in the middle of relaunching. We already relaunched a first phase for Native entrepreneurs in partnership with Minnesota Fund, and that is what we're focusing on over the next couple years is really Indigenous leadership.
Hey, I want to say, Pinigigi, thank you. I know during COVID when, like, for instance, all our sponsors went away because we deal with local and small sponsors, and that your organization helped us out. And I just want to say, hey, Pinigigi, and that you guys are true partners with all natives across here in Minnesota. So I want to say personally, Pinigigi, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
And what's especially lovely, best about Tiwahe, these are direct grants. We meet the folks where they are and whatever it is that they need, whether it's transportation to get to work or to get to ceremony, for their job, to buy supplies like boots for their job. It's just like so incredible. And Nikki, you have been the CEO for how long?
So I've been official since I think the first week of January, but like Mary, I actually met Mary when I joined the board about 3 years ago. So I've long been a fan in the Tiwahe family, if that's redundant, because Tiwahe means family in Dakota. Yeah, that's right. But yeah, and we will be having a similar event, our Circle of Generosity. And this year's theme will be supporting Indigenous leadership on Indigenous Peoples Day, also here in St. Paul, downtown St. Paul.
We're excited, but as you know, I think it's Native Day every day. Hoa.
That too, every day.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Well, that's throw out your website here, and then we'll grab another guest and how we can people are natives across Minnesota, especially get a hold of you, and then we have people from all over the Turtle Island listening to the show on different radio stations, and that they can see the good work that you do and maybe duplicate it in their state.
Yeah, we'd love to see it. There shouldn't be just a handful of Native grant makers across the country, but you could go to tiwahefoundation.org. So that's TIWAHE foundation.org to find out more about us or visit our Facebook page.
And you know, I like Facebook, so I'm all over that. Pinigigi for stopping by. I really appreciate it. It's just a great place to see people and meet people and re-meet people here tonight. So I'm re-meeting you and meeting you at the same time because, you know, Choka, which means grandfather, and Ho-Chunk has got a good memory, but it's short. Ho-wa.
Chimagwech Bizdawiyeg, and I think part of my next job here at this event is to get people in the room and get us started. So thank you, Mary. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nikki.
Right on.
Get us started in a good way.
Right on. Wow. So totally excited. You can just feel the buzz in the room, and it's just great to see all these Native Americans and allies, Mary, that are just unbelievable. It's I just feel, I can feel it, the hair stand up on my arms. That's how good of feeling I have right now. And we have another guest here that dropped me off a free book here. I appreciate that. Will you sign that, and will you put that microphone a little closer to your mouth? Oh, wow.
Hello.
Hey, I want to introduce Rhea Thundercloud. She is one of our newest young authors. She's got this incredible book. I wish you could also see it. It's called Finding My Dance. It's written by Rhea Thundercloud. She's going to speak in a minute, illustrated by Kalila J. Fuller. And Rhea, would you introduce yourself and tell us about this exciting book that's coming out?
Oh.
Well, good evening. Thank you for having me. It's very nice to be here. My name is Rhea Thundercloud. I am from Ho-Chunk Nation and San Diego Pueblo in Taos Pueblo. My parents met during the Urban Relocation Act in the 1970s. So I kind of grew up in two different regions. But my book, Finding My Dance, kind of came into fruition when a publisher from Penguin Random House reached out to me after my 2018 Glamour article was published. And it was about dancing and how dancing has always kept me grounded and basically saved my life throughout being a young adult, a teenager, dealing with discrimination and racism, and how dance has always given me something to ground myself and constantly call my spirit back. So it does talk about how I started off traditionally and I went professional at 16. And I was able to travel all over the world with several different dance companies. I do classical dance, ballet, modern, jazz, tap, and hip hop. But, my roots are with traditional dancing. I do Ho-Chunk applique, jingle dress, fancy shawl. And I also do the corn dance from my mother's side.
Oh, wow.
I do men's fancy too. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, I do the switch dance. Does that count? Oh, wow. Hey, hey, where are you living? Where are you from?
So I had just relocated here to Minneapolis.
Hey, then you're one of my constituents, because I'm a Ho-Chunk representative for Ho-Chunk Nation is my real job.
Oh, really?
So remember me when we in 3 years when I run for re-election.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah. I am really excited to be here, and I just moved here this past week, so it's really nice to kind of be back in the Midwest with the water and the trees, because New Mexico is a very different climate and region.
This book is so new, it's not even in the bookstores yet. Can you tell us when it's officially released and where folks can run out and get it?
And that's you right there on the cover. That's beautiful.
Look at that. The illustrations are incredible, folks. You have to get this book.
Yes, thank you.
They're both you.
Yeah, it is a children's picture book, so a lot of it is a lot of illustrations, and it's been a journey writing this book because the illustrator was non-native, but she was very awesome and receiving and hearing stories about Native American people and powwows. But this book is dropping September 13th. That's on a Tuesday, and it'll be available at Barnes & Nobles, Walmart, Target, Amazon. It is available for pre-order right now, and it's available on the Penguin Random House website, and you just have to type in Finding My Dance.
Wow.
Or my name, Rhea Thundercloud. And yeah.
So my name is Wakunjahade, which means distant thunder. And what is your name?
Wakinjahaja Piwinga, which is beautiful thunder woman.
Yes.
And at the
so
end of
you're in the Thunder Clan?
I am in Thunder Clan.
I'm in Eagle Clan, so we fly over all the other clans.
Oh, yeah. I'm an eagle dancer too, so I talk a lot about the eagle. So.
Wow. That's amazing. It's great to meet you, and this is a big deal. And I don't know how often I'm going to say this, because people like you are stepping forward, the young ones, and I just am so proud of what you're doing. It's just important, and these guys are taking pictures here as I'm talking. It's crazy.
I'm a state legislator, but before that, for 25 years, I was a library media specialist, and I can't tell you how much I love picture books, especially picture books that we can all use to really tell a story that's going to make a difference. And I wish that I'm still teaching so that I could introduce this, because what a good message. What a good message. Through hard work, perseverance, struggle, you have been able to really, break a lot of the barriers and the expectations that maybe would have taken you down a different path. This
Good
book is
call.
extremely inspiring. It's absolutely beautiful. I can't wait to get it for my granddaughters. And I can't thank you again for stepping over here and sharing it with us. Again, it's called Finding My Dance by Rhea Thundercloud, illustrated by Kalila. Is that how we say it? Kalila J. Fuller. Dropping September 13th, which is next Tuesday. So get out there and get this book and support this beautiful young woman and her mission to bring beauty and joy to this world when oftentimes we are short of all of that.
Wow.
Thank you.
That's huge. It's just huge. And I hope you sign my copy. I would appreciate that. I got to have you on again. We're on 5 days a week, and we're all over Wisconsin, too. I'm on like 30 stations in the Civic Media Network live. So to get the word out there, again, I'd love to have you on again. I don't know. I'm Mary. I'm like speechless.
Yeah.
I'm really speechless here.
We are so lucky to be here with all these beautiful, beautiful people. And when I look out on the sea of indigenous folks here, because it's not just Native American, there are some of our beautiful Latinx and Asian Americans, beautiful group of people here in their best red. It just gives me goosebumps, and it sure gives me hope for the future when I think of all the good work that we have going on just sitting here in this room.
Well, and that's the scoop. It's like for me in 1978, the Religious Act, I was a junior. We have all these young warriors coming up and speaking their truth and doing their thing. And it makes us proud because, I talked about a lot of this over the years is that we were pretending to be someone else other than Native Americans until the American Indian movement came out and started kicking butt. And so we all came out of the woodwork, and I think we are now too, as artists, authors,
legislators.
Yes, exactly.
CEOs
Radio
of
hosts.
nonprofit. Yes, we're coming, folks.
Right on. Peeny Gigi, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
All right,
What an honor.
Right on. We'll be right back after this short break. I'm here with State Senator Mary Kunesh, and we're at the Red Dress Gala here in downtown St. Paul. We'll be right back.
COVID levels may be falling, but the virus is still around. Stay healthy and up to date on your COVID vaccinations and boosters. Right now, everyone 6 months and older is eligible to get a vaccination, while everyone 5 and up is eligible for their booster shot. Plus, you're eligible for a second booster if you're over 50 or received an initial booster dose at least 4 months ago. Find a vaccination site by calling 651-304-9986 or visit vaccineconnector.mn.gov. This message brought to you by the Native American Community Clinic.
Ramsey County's Transforming Systems Together initiative is rethinking how the county delivers services and invests in the community, including through grants. Grants are available to support individuals and organizations providing prevention services and serving vulnerable youth involved in child protection and foster care. To learn more and see if you or your organization qualifies, visit ramseycounty.us/TST grants. Applications are due by September 30th.
Hey, Ogama, I've been hearing a lot about this term, climate justice. What is that?
Climate justice is recognizing that the negative impacts of climate change don't affect all people equally. It also means transitioning from a fossil fuel-based economy to a more sustainable future. MN350 is one of the groups that's pushing for this transition to protect our futures. You can even get involved too.
That's great, especially since I'm concerned about pipeline projects like Line 3. How can I help MN350?
Just find them on Facebook or visit mn350.org.
Minnesota has the only original wolf population in the continental United States, and 80% of Minnesotans believe the wolf should be protected. Howling for Wolves is asking Minnesotans to respect our true wildlife manager, the wolf. Their survival is critical to our ecosystems, our communities, and even our economy. As highly intelligent animals with strong social bonds, Minnesota wolves deserve to be protected and admired. Learn more at howlingforwolves.org. Let's live and let howl.
Hi, I'm Jane Fonda, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. We're at the Red State, the Red Dress Gala here. I wanted to Red State. What the heck? We're here, and it's just we're really celebrating, us fighting back with genocide. With fighting of murdered and missing Indigenous people, and we're really it's what we're doing, and I guess I get emotional on these kind of things because it is an emotional thing. It's hard to explain, but it's totally an emotional thing where we've been missing our young ones, we've been missing our relatives, we've been missing people that aren't treated as human beings. And I think we have State Senator Mary Kunesh, Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, Heather Keeler, State Representative. So we have a lot of good things going on here. And State Senator Mary Kunesh just grabbed a quick guest here. Welcome back.
Thank you. We ran in and I ran out. We have a really special guest here, and she's one of our favorites at the state legislature. I have another senator that always calls this woman her Shiro, and she absolutely adores her. I have here with me Shelley Buck. And I'm going to let her introduce you. I'm just really kind of giddy here, and I'm a little bit out of breath. So, Shelley, would you please introduce yourself and tell us all the great things that you have been doing?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for having me. This is exciting. It's my first radio.
Oh.
Yeah, so you guys are really special for me. My name's Shelley Buck. I'm currently the Vice President for Prairie Island Indian Community Tribal Council. I was president for the last 6 years, so that's probably why you were having a problem with my title there. But Prairie Island, we've been doing a lot of things. We've got our net zero project going, where we were able to get the state to give us $46 million out of the RDA fund. We have our strategic planning that we're working on, our organizational structure we're working on. We have an Elk Run project where we bought 1,200 acres down in Pine Island area. We've got a lot going on right now, and it's really busy, but it's good busy.
It is good busy, and I'm sorry. I know a lot of members, and you take care of your membership, and that's all we can ask for. And as you probably know, I'm a legislator for Ho-Chunk Nation, and it's a difficult task because there's so many directions pulling at us. So I got to really, because you've been in the government so long, just give you a big shout out here, because I know it's difficult in many, many different ways.
It's very difficult. It's probably the most difficult thing I've ever done. But the thing that that's helped me is remembering those core values. It's not about me, it's about the community and things like that. And I know I don't want to get into a political debate, but like with COVID, I wasn't going to get the shot.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't going to get the vaccine. I don't do that. My body's strong enough, but I had to stop and think, I'm being told that this is what's best for my community and not for myself, then I need to do this and it will help my community. So I stepped up. I'm fully vaccinated, fully boosted, and I did it for my community. And I think that's what tribal leaderships need to do. They need to remember their core values there in the community. For us anyway at Dakota, that's our core value as community.
Right. And I agree, and I don't know who asked you, but elders asked me to run. And that's the only reason why I ran personally. And I know community asks people that they see doing things in a good way beforehand. So obviously, State Senator, our guest has been doing wonderful things for a long time.
Well, and I can't tell you how many times have I asked you to join me either in the Minnesota House of Representatives or in the Senate. And one of these days, I'm going to get Shelley Buck to move back to Minnesota. She lives just across the border in Wisconsin.
Oh, wait a minute.
And come
territory.
join me. Yep.
That's right. We didn't have boundaries.
Nope. And I mean, Minnesota needs Shelley Buck. That's all I can say.
Well, you'll be happy to hear I just sold my house and I'm supposed to be out by October 4th. So I'll be back over this side of the river.
Well, we're going to hold a spot for you because the kind of leadership that Shelley Buck has proven over the years is been really instrumental. I remember the first time I met you. You probably don't remember this. I was just a new legislator, and there was this atrocious art exhibit put up outside of one of our art museums here in Minnesota. It was a scaffolding.
No, sorry.
And it represented the scaffolding of the Dakota 38+2. And it was the worst thing I can ever imagine somebody putting together. And I had just been elected, and there was a big meeting with the Dakota leadership and community, and Representative Susan Allen said, I can't go to that. Will you go and represent us from the legislature? And I was just shaking in my boots. And there was Shelley Buck, and I remember going over to her and introducing myself to her, and she just kind of looked at me sideways and said, I know who you are. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Testing you.
Yes. But since then, the work that we've been able to do at the legislature has been together, in collaboration, has been really profound. Can you just tell us about bringing the bison back to Minnesota?
Yeah, we've had our buffalo pasture for, since the 90s, I think. We were gifted one and told, go ahead and feast on it. Our elders said, nope, by no means do we want to feast on it. We want to have a buffalo herd. So with that one buffalo, we got some more and started to breed them. And now we're up to over 300 head. We just donated 25 head to Sisseton.
Wow.
And so we're getting to the point where we have to donate other ones to other tribes because we just our land base isn't enough to sustain the number that we have, and we're not going to grow it to make money off of it. For us, it's just about feeding our people and making it good for our people.
Well, Ho Chunk will have to reach out too because we got some land where it would be great to have that, and I'll reach out to you. And it's a great point, State Senator Mary Kunesh. Not only, we're involved in gaming, but I think one of the things that's very important for other people to know is what we do in the community. And I know you guys do a lot in the community, and we only got like a minute and a half left. I would love you to just tell our listening audience, we're all over the United States, and we're in 30 stations in Wisconsin going live right now, what you guys do, because I know you do a lot for the community.
We do. It helps as the largest employer of Goodhue County and the second largest hotel property in the state of Minnesota. We're able to reach a large number of people, and we help other people. We donate. We do events and all that kind of stuff. We really like to make it a community-based program on everything that we do, because when we help other people, it also helps us in return. And I think that's so important that we work together in that way. And if everybody would work that way, this would be actually a true one Minnesota. So it's great.
Perfect way. Hey, Peeny Gigi, State Senator Mary Kunesh, for co-hosting this as always, and what a great gala. We'll be back Monday.
Sounds good. Take care, everybody. Wopila Tonka.
Free Leonard Peltier now.
Hi, this is Chad from AM 950. Snap